All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Bowker, you've known this man as the Shark, Shark Attack, derivatives of that. This guy is getting back at it with a new moniker and a new promotion, no less. BKB 52 going to be going down in Foxwoods, and that transpires on March the 28th. And Zion Tomlinson getting in that mighty trigon there, and going to be taking on the Mangler, Zach Calmus, and have him on Bare Knuckle Bowker today to talk about quite a few new developments. But first off, how are you doing, Zach?
Oh yeah, I woke up on the right side of the bed, literally, and my dog sleeps on the left side, so I slept on the right side, and I went for a 3 mile run, and the weight come off feels a lot better when I run, you know, less pressure pounding on my knees when I'm running. So like in return, I'm banging out like the mileage very, very easy.
Yeah, and it looks like you've had quite the physical transformation, man. Like it looks like you're, navigating some lower weight categories after people have known you to be a BKFC heavyweight. Like I saw on an Instagram comment you were talking about even pursuing 85 after your debut in the Trigon. So I mean, that's incredible, man.
Yeah, I could the way my weight is fluctuating right now, there's no reason why I couldn't be at 85. I could do that within maybe 3 or 4 days time because I'm walking around at 200 right now. So like 85 is just like me not eating and working out for 48 hours and then I'll be 85. So anything's possible, even 170 afterwards.
That's interesting. Like, what prompted this shift in weight category and stuff like that? Because, like I said, you put on so many like barn burner heavyweight fights. Like, what I guess led to this, pursuit of moving down in weight?
So I went through some things in my life, and everybody goes through things. I understand that everybody's got a life, and everybody's gonna have good days and bad days. And I think that the bad days, the days where you lose your dog, your best friend for 15 years. My dog died in front of me. Uh, I lost my other dog, Prada. She died of cancer. It was a slow battle, like 8 weeks, and then she couldn't take it anymore. I had to take her to the vet and euthanize her. So, going through that last year, and then I had three professional losses in bare knuckle in a row, and then I lost a boxing match on Tremont Street that I lost KnuckleMania. So I don't know, a combination of losing 4 fights, two dogs, and whatever. It can have two effects on people. It had the adverse effect of a weak man. My skin hardened. I become stronger. I guess like the eagle goes up on the mountain and smashes its beak, and then it comes back a lot stronger. Or the eagle, I assume, probably dies. Um, I I don't know. I'm not trying to sound any type of way, but I went through a lot of shit last year. A whole lot. Like it wasn't not gonna say it's the worst year of my life because what doesn't kill you truly makes you stronger. And I had a terribly tough year. I lost 4 fights in a row. Um, I lost my two best friends. I lost Prada and King. All one in the beginning of the year, January before Knucklemania, and then I lost Prada in the summer. What I'm trying to say is like that really killed that hurt, and then I had to fight and then I lost. And whatever, you win some, you lose some, but that's what life's about. And I'm just grateful to still be here doing what I love to do. So, after 10 bare knuckle fights with BKFC, I'm just grateful to be living my dreams. I mean, how many people grow up and become the person that they wanted to be when they were young? I said, one day these fists are going to take me somewhere, and my mom told me, no, if you want to fight in somebody's ring, you can go do that all on your own. And a lot of it was on my own, but I've met some great people along the way that have carried me through. And without those people, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So it takes a jungle. It takes a it takes a jungle, but it takes a village to raise a warrior is what I was going for. And I'm a warrior, and I want to shout out my village before we even get started. Champs of Banbury, Coach Dave, Champs Boxing, AJ Galante, and the whole Banbury has been there for me through thick and thin, through all 10 of my bare knuckle fights and my pro boxing career, as well as my amateur career. And never turned their back on me. And, I'm exactly who you think I am. I'm out of control sometimes. I get really wild. Like, I'm known to fuck up the concession stand. You're not gonna fuck my food up. Like, I eat what I want when I want. I'm gonna pay good money and tip you, but don't mess around with my appetite or my attitude. So, like, um, I guess what I'm trying to say is being in an accepting environment and a knowledgeable environment with Coach Dave and AJ Galante. They have changed my perspective on life. So now when I approach life, I think about everything. I'm not just like running in with my hands down. I'm like thinking about, okay, if I do it this way, then this might happen, and that one thing leads to another. So one good act leads to another good act, and then it becomes a good life. It's not like you walk around doing crappy things all week and you're gonna have a good month. It doesn't work that way. So like I don't know. I guess for the first time in my life, I really, I planted the seeds and I planted them in good soil and I watered them in sunlight and patience and timing, and that's the result that everybody's seeing. You know what I mean? At 200 pounds, and I really dedicated myself, and this is all I do. So, you know,
And I guess what ultimately led to you signing with BKB, because you fought on KnuckleMania VI in February, the big tentpole event for BKFC, in a true to form, exciting fight for you against Lex Ludlow. So how did, I guess, things go from that to where you're at now and signed with BKB, readying for this fight March 28th?
well, if you go back a little ways, I had a good boxing match on Tremont Street on December 12th, leading up to Knucklemania at super heavyweight. And I fought the former champion in New England, Harold Roy. He's a big, strong guy. All respect to Harold. He ended up taking a 6 round decision. I lost that fight on points, but I did very well. It was a good showing. It was my return to professional glove boxing. So that was a great time. I had a great time fighting at the club in Boston, downtown on Tremont. I used to go dancing there when I was a young punk kid, get drunk. So, like, being there for the right reasons was a whole different experience. And I fought the same day that John Cena retired. So I come out to the time is now. One thing led to another. And shout out the Nolan brothers. Shout out the Nolan brothers. They have helped me tremendously. Their whole gym, their whole camp, and they helped me set up this fight. Although I know the BKB and I'm friendly with Mr. Scott Bird, and I go to the Hall of Fame every year and celebrate the athletes. Um, and I know Mike Vasquez, and I've met him. He was at my wedding, and everybody, and Dada 5000. They're all very wonderful people. So all right. Just as I would say the same thing about Mr. David Feldman, Mr. Nate Shook. I had a great relationship with BKFC and a great run. You know what I mean? You never bite the hand that feeds you or fed you. They took good care of me. And people come at me a lot of time and then they kind of look for me to be like, why? It doesn't always have to be a reason why somebody does something. Or even if you do tell them the reason, very few times, Dylan, is it ever going to make sense to the other person why Dylan does what he does. Why do you do podcasts? Why is your light red? Why do you wear your headphones? Why do you smile when Zach gets goofy? Because, motherfucker, it's funny. Who gives a shit why Dylan does what he does? He does what he does because he likes doing it. And that's all that matters. That's all that ever did. So I never ever had a problem with BKFC. I love them. Um, I had a great run. I had a great run. This opportunity just presented itself, and I really wanted to. see what I could do in that trigon. That's all it's about. I love Mr. Mike Vasquez and Mr. Dada 5000 and the history of it. I want to see what I could do in a small feeding tank as a mangler. You know what I mean? So I'm coming back to bare knuckle, but I'm doing it in a smaller ring, and I think that maybe this ring could be the ring for me because I like fighting in small. I like standing in bang in small, like I've been in fights. I've been in a lot of fights. I've been kicked out of like 3 or 4 high schools. I've been arrested for street fighting many times and allegedly. And I've been kicked off of, 3 or 4 hockey teams. I've been kicked off of lacrosse. I broke sticks over people's heads. Like I wasn't even allowed to play football in some schools because I was so bad. I would just lower my helmet into the kneecap. I know exactly how to break it. So I just break everybody in half. And I laugh about it and go to detention. It's no problem to me. It's you who's broken, not me. And they could never understand that. I was just a vicious motherfucker always. And I'm talking about a 9-year-old with that type of rage. And I still have it. You know what I mean? Probably why I got the mask on in the dark talking to you on camera. Cause yeah, to do bare knuckle, you gotta be a little cuckoo crazy. You're not just fucking I'm not out on Friday night. Let me tell you that much. I'm not out on Friday night like P. Diddy. Hey, I'm not out like fucking P. Diddy being a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? I'm home. I'm home organizing my gym bag and getting ready for the week and putting my diet together and I was posting about my sponsors. I'm trying to put together a decent lifestyle with my hands, which is extremely hard, especially like given the climate of the world. I could be working a safe job 9 to 5, right? Every fucking day, grinding, grinding. Bro, I respect that. The working man, the working woman, I respect the fuck out of you. Whoever's listening, whoever it is. Because without you, we don't even have a country. So the working man is the real man. I'm the guy that come in and entertain the working man and the working woman. And that's what I never lost sight of that, Dylan. And that's people always like, Zach, why are you so happy all the time? Why are you always smiling? Why are you always? Because I figured out something that most people never figured out, and I figured it out at 34. Thank God. Thank God I figured it out. You know what I figured out?
What did you figure out?
Nothing matters. None of it matters, bro. None of it at all. Like it don't matter, bro. It does not matter. Who gives a shit what the fuck I did or what he did or what she did? It really doesn't matter because I've seen him come, I've seen him go, and I know one thing to be true. I only know one thing to be true, right? The only thing that people are gonna remember when we're gone, like when we leave this earth, when we die, when I'm gone, when Zach Calmus' heart beats for the last time, the only thing that people are gonna remember about me is how I treated them.
No, it's so important, man. And I feel like you carry yourself in that kind of way. So yeah, good of you to embody that sort of thing for sure. Like I do feel like you come across in that earnest kind of way. So love to see that. And I think that's where I was coming from with like the, I guess, question about your current situation, just in the sense of I feel like the mighty Trigon is like the perfect fit for someone with your stylistic attributes and someone like Zion Tomlinson, who also has some notable experience in gloveless combat. It would seem like a great dance partner for this first BKB fight.
I'm super blessed and excited for the matchup. The only thing I can say about Zion is that he's a real good guy. Him, his dad, and his brother, nothing but respect for the family, and we're gonna have a great fight because of those attributes of a man that make a man. You know what I mean? It's not that type of fight. It's a war. This is gonna be a real fight. Something that people could be like, "Wow, they really went out there and put on for us." Those athletes are a little different. That's all. He's a different type of guy, and so am I. So I think it's just a great matchup. Big, big, big shout out to Mel for lining that up. That's a barn burner. That's gonna fill the stadium. That's gonna fill the seats, fill the casino. Um, as well as that's a fighting family. So you got to sit back and be like, wow, I respect them. I was at Kane's last fight with BKFC. He's a real man, and I've shared rides with them and at venues. So it ain't nothing like that. Just athletic competition in my eyes. I just want to go out and have a great fight and get the fans going, baby. That's what I do. So I think that everybody knows what kind of man I am and what kind of man I strive to be. And I think my last fight, I had a lot going on. I do want to comment on that. I ain't no pussy. Just I had a lot going on in my personal life. Okay, like not to mention that boat went down in my town. Okay, rest in peace to the people that passed away on the boat. Okay, um, that happened on like the week that I fought, and then I dedicated the fight to those people. So being from Gloucester and having that weighing heavy on my mind and my heart, I'm not blaming it on my loss on that. I'm not. I had that going on. Okay, my city was in mourning. uh I ran into the captain's best friend that morning when I left for Philadelphia, and I embraced him, hugged him. That's just how involved we are here. It's a beautiful, beautiful city, America's oldest seaport. Come visit us in the summer. Come up to Perkins Street and just ask for the shark. Everybody knows where I'm at. So come see me if you want to see me. And yeah, that was weighing heavy on my heart and just on my mind. I want to do a good job, but I also wanted to be respectful of my opponent. And I don't know. I didn't get much sleep the night before. I'm not making excuses. It's the reality. It was freezing in Philly. It always is. I prepared for that. I'm not complaining about the cold. It was freezing. It was colder than Boston. And I just, okay, uh, it's important who you go into battle with for your team. And I just want to say it, and I'm going to say it how it is. My whole team fell out on me. The people that I brought with me shape shifted, and they were not there for me. They were there for whatever reason. I don't know, but I wish nobody was with me. I was in a 5-bedroom Airbnb. I might as well have been by myself in it because the people that I brought to Philadelphia did me dirty the whole time. Like I didn't get any treatment. No, they didn't bring me any food. They were looking at me to pay for everything. So I just want to put that out there that your team is important, and my team was non-existent in the Philadelphia, my last KnuckleMania trip. So that's also why you see other things that panned out in my life. But I'm focused. I'm refocused, and as you see, I'm not all alone. I don't know where there's my dog. You know what I mean? That's Moose.
Oh yeah, there we go.
See Moose, hi Moose, say hello, buddy. He was sleeping. He's like that. Why? Why? So yeah, he's sleeping right now. But Moose, I brought Moose to Philadelphia with me. Uh, and I don't know. I'm not blaming anybody but myself. I dropped the ball. I lacked sleep. I didn't sleep very well, and I kept high fiving my opponent. Like I was trying to be. I don't know why I was being so cool with him. I guess he was a cool guy. He was a good guy. Uh, uh to me, fighting is not really that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's just a fight. So I've been doing it since I was young. My grandfather taught me how to throw my first punch. And, like I just been fighting everybody. So I always cool with my opponents and whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah,
fight well, but it was just one fight. That's all.
I get what you're saying. I'd be curious to maybe somewhat delve into it a bit more, just in the sense of I'm curious if this maybe ties into what seems like some friction with previous, or I guess from what I can tell, previous longtime friend Blake Lacaz. Like, was he tied up in that kind of like Philadelphia dynamic where you felt like your team didn't show up for you?
Uh, no, I got no comment about that. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I don't want to further comment on details, but everybody knows that we're not in a good place, and we're never gonna be. There were things said that you don't take back when you're at our level of combat sports, and whenever he wants to do it, I'm ready. And if he wants to do some street shit, it's gonna be a weapon. It ain't gonna be my hands, bro. So whatever way he wants it, he could fucking get it. I don't like him. And he did the most disgusting thing that you could do as a fucking male friend. Okay? That's what he did. I went through a divorce and he went and took my wife's side like a little bitch. You don't do that. When you're boys with somebody, you ride out with the boys and that's it. Fuck that. Disrespectful, dishonest, discredited. How's that? Demoted. I could care less. I could care less. How the fuck am I gonna go through a divorce and you're gonna take her side? That's clown shit. You don't sit at my table anymore. And that's all there is, and that's all it's ever gonna be. You can sit there and say Zach's crazy and Zach's this and Zach's that. Look, motherfucker, you know I'm crazy. I brag on that. I don't give a fuck. I am crazy. Good. Good. You should know not to start some shit with me. Because I don't give a fuck. Me, you, him, her, whatever it's gonna be, every one of you could be replaced. Like that. Like that. Anyone could be replaced. Everyone could be replaced. Even me. You don't think there's another little guy building right now, working hard, doing what he's doing, dreaming about the day he can take what I have? I promise you, he's out there. And if you don't think like that, then somebody will take what you have. Maybe me. Not like physical stuff. I mean like titles. I'm talking about championships. I'm talking about runs. What I did in bare knuckle is hard to do. I had 10 bare knuckle fights before anybody even had five in my region. I'm Tom Brady in bare knuckle in New England. Nobody's had 10 bare knuckle fights, but I live, breathe, eat, and I'll die about this shit. And I don't think anybody's that serious about it. You know what I mean? I punch myself for practice. So how the fuck could any of these guys really hurt me when I'm splitting my own head on purpose in practice? I have a 6 month layoff. I'll punch myself for fun. I get bored. I'll cause myself some pain, calculated pain, like I'm punching bricks and stuff that's gonna make my skin retention stronger. Yeah, it hurts a little bit, but it makes you better.
Yeah, it's just all about focusing on those pieces that are ultimately, going to refine what you bring to the table and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I understand your sentiment of kind of like, I guess, tightening up that, inner circle piece and I guess focusing on certain things that are kind of in that future and kind of in a more, I guess, uplifting context. Like, it seems like you're quite excited about fighting for an organization where, Paulie Malignaggi is also plying his trade and he's fighting Rolando D for his championship in May. And Malignaggi trying to be a two sport champion there. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, Paulie Malignaggi is the greatest fighter that ever lived because you got to think about a guy like Paulie and the skill set that he has and what he's accomplished. Any guy that has accomplished what Paulie Malignaggi has accomplished is the greatest fighter that ever lived. I'm talking Paulie Malignaggi, Floyd Mayweather, uh, Arturo Gatti. I'm talking about fighters that accomplished their dreams. They're the greatest fighter that ever lived, in my opinion. So no, I can't say there's one greatest fighter that ever lived, but Paulie Malignaggi, the greatest fighter that ever lived. You understand how I see it? He's the greatest ever. Paulie, I got T-shirts. I don't know, is it right here? I got T-shirts of Paulie Malignaggi in my bedroom, like that I made at the mall, just like because I'm such a big fan of Paulie. Like, you know what I mean? The Magic Man. So just to be around him, and I met Paulie Malignaggi when I was coaching at BKB. I coached Nick Villar in South Carolina, so I was there working with them, and I met Paulie Malignaggi. Actually, they picked me up at the airport, and the car spun around. And guess who was in the back seat? It was Paulie Malignaggi. I was like, so I hopped in. I was like, hey, Magic Man, and we started talking, and he was incredible. First time I met him, it was right around Christmas time a couple years ago, and I think I knew I was going to be going to the Trigon just because I wanted to experience that small ring. You know what I mean? That fast action.
No, fair enough. I mean, such a great fit for you and stuff like that. And you mentioned Mayweather in there, and I mean, you share a birthday with Mike Tyson, and they're talking about doing that exhibition fight later on this year. Like, what are your thoughts on that particular fight? That seems like a curiosity piece. Like, I know when Mike Tyson
Oh
fought
yeah,
Jake Paul, you were
I
kind of
mean,
reserved in, yeah, but
we're talking about two of the greatest fighters that ever lived, that ever graced God's green earth. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. To see them in the same ring, especially, you know, with the age difference and the weight difference a little bit, it makes no difference to me. It's two of the greatest fighters that ever lived that are going to entertain us at the same time. So yeah, I think that's got gotta watch that right written all over it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna miss that type of thing.
just
That's like
very
John Cena's last walk to the ring. You don't miss that. You know what I mean? John Cena's last time in Boston. You don't miss that. You don't miss that. So yeah, I'll be watching that.
Yeah, and you mentioned the professional wrestling reference point. You also share a birthday with Cody Rhodes. I mean, him taking on Randy Orton at WrestleMania also seems like an intriguing one as well.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be there at WrestleMania. So I'm a major fan of wrestling, and as a kid, I pretended to be all the wrestlers with my cousins, Charlie, Nico, and Dominic, and they're all around, a little bit younger, but my age. Greek Orthodox. So like we would dress up like the wrestlers and beat the shit out of each other. And that was kind of like my thing was playing N64 and wrestling. And like I really wanted to be a wrestler growing up. Like that was my thing. I thought I was gonna be a wrestler. And one thing led to another, and like a coach pulled me aside it was like, you got to get famous in something else or be a legacy character. Have like an uncle in wrestling or a father, which I didn't. And I was like, all right, I'll get famous in fighting, in boxing, and then eventually I'll go to wrestling. So like I did the amateur boxing. I had 23 fights, gold glove champions, everything. I did a lot. And then I went pro in boxing. And then the bare knuckle thing, I saw it on Instagram, like a tryout in Tampa, and I like clicked it and spent my last little bit of cash I had, and I went to the tryout and I got in, and I fought Bobo and I had 10 fights, and now I'm like, okay, I did the round ring, now I'm gonna do the triangle ring, and then who knows what's gonna be exactly after that, but I promise you this, I want to have at least 10 fights in the trigon because I'm weird like that. I like to have things lined up. So, like, I had 10 fights with BKFC. I want to have at least 10 fights with the Trigon. And then I'd like to continue that into my professional wrestling career. So, like, I have a lot of friends in the wrestling industry. And I've been at shows where they've had me come on and kind of like all right, Zach, we want you to like kind of like harass the wrestlers because you're a real bare knuckle fighter, and we'll like make promos. So I was walking around like I harassed Nicole Metallo. I was like, "Oh, so you're a real wrestler? Are you even good?" Like just like throwing jabs at her, and she would like get fired up and talk shit to me, and I was just like local. But I had such a good time doing that I was like gave me a real idea. And I was like, "Damn, Zach, you got the gift of gab, and you look like Mick Foley." And you crazy as fuck. Every day for you is WWE. So like I wake up every day and I just like pretend it's Friday Night SmackDown for like 14 hours till I go to bed. So like I'm well trained in this, all I need to do is learn a couple moves, but I'm very athletic. Like I know I can frog splash and all that. I've tried it. And like 450 frog splash, I can front flip and stuff. I'm gonna wrestle. So like that's something that's definitely in the works. It's just like, timing like everything else, like the boxing and the bare knuckle and then the round ring and the triangle ring. I just want to really be like Tom Brady in this sport. I want everybody to be like, wow, Zach entertained us for like 24 years and then he died and they put a statue of me somewhere. Like this dude was fucking awesome. He was crazy as shit, but he entertained us. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
mean,
constantly entertainer. Like I want to leave people shocked and awed every time. Like my blood, their blood, my teeth, it really don't make no difference to me as long as the fans come out their seat. And that's what I know. You gotta put asses in seats, and that's what I like. I like when I see a lot of people.
No, for sure. They love coming out and seeing Zach Calmus throw down. And yeah, you've had a very cool story so far. And I thought it was cool. I believe it was our first chat. Actually, I referenced the fact that you got to meet the rapper Blueface when he did his boxing fight for BKFC. And he recently had a bit of a setback against an individual named Chibu. He fought on Aiden Ross's boxing event that he was doing. It was a
Oh
showcase of some
yeah,
sort. Did you have any advice for Blueface in terms of like what he could do to kind of
more
go on that
jabs.
comeback
Yeah,
path? Or
he's a great fighter. He just got to use his jab more. Man, if he jab more, he got a long range. Like, all right, he can just take him to Jab City. He's got the keys. He's the mayor. He's the treasurer. He's the police chief. All he has to do is jab. If he jabs, he wins all those fights. Like he don't jab enough. He should be on Jab City. That's all he should be doing is jabbing. He should be jabbing before his combo to get in and jabbing on the way out to protect himself. The only time he ever gets caught is when he gets countered or yeah, like after he fires off, he gets caught. So it's just kind of like keeping that jab on effect. So maybe just work on the jab and that's it. Everything else is good. Blueface a fighter. Blueface baby.
I feel like he's one of the better influencer boxers, if you want to use that term for that
Yeah,
particular kind of
yeah, he's a
space. So,
boxer now. I don't even
mhm.
say influencer boxer. I would say he's a fighter now. I mean, he was always a fighter. When I met Blueface, he's like, man, you know, he fights I've been in. Basically, like, I could just tell he could fight. That's it. You meet somebody, you know, if they got that dog in them, that pit bull, and he did. He was game bred. He had the eyes. He just needed to train a little bit before he fighting guys who are training to fight. That's all. But if Blueface getting a fight with you at the supermarket, he's fucking your shit up. That's a fact. That's a fact. Blueface he ain't no bitch.
Well, I certainly trust your ability to assess the dog that one would have in them. I mean, your track record speaks to that. But I figured I'd give you the floor, Zach, if maybe there was any final parting thought you maybe wanted to add as we're wrapping up here tonight on Bare Knuckle Bowker. I really appreciate the time, as always.
You know what I say about Blueface? He's all muscle. He's all muscle. Okay, a guy like him, the way he's built, is like 3% body fat. So it's all just training and a bit. He's all training. If he trains his butt off, he'll have all the ability in the world to be world champion. I know a kid named Malik. Okay, he's a winner. He's a great fighter. He's a nationally ranked amateur fighter. I grew up with. I grew up around. Yeah, I was way older. But he was a kid. They used to spar him on his knees. I watched him just win the Golden Gloves for the second or third time. Champ Malik Bam Bam. That kid's gonna be world champion, and I know this to be true. So follow Malik Bam Bam. Just a Gold Glove champion, 3 time, I believe, 2 or 3 time. He's the best, and it's a jab. All I can say is a jab. Blueface, baby. You use that jab, you'll put all these guys to sleep. They won't be able to see you. You should be. You won't even be rapping no more. You just be fighting.
Yeah, I mean, great advice for sure, man. And I'm super stoked to see this, foray into the mighty Trigon. BKB 52 was already a very exciting card in Foxwoods there. But yeah, cool to see that you're going to be fighting Zion Tomlinson and everything like that. So yeah, super stoked for March 28th, man. And again, thank you for coming on Bare Knuckle Bowker. Stoked to see the fight when it goes down, but all the best in the lead up to that. And you enjoy the rest of your night too, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me on here. I got peanut butter in here. Look. Oh man, those are those peanut butter bites are so good. I get those at Market Basket, right? And it's just protein and like little peanut butter. It's like 5 grams per serving. And I just have like maybe like a little. I just have a little cup's worth after the gym or before the gym. Oh man, it just really helps with like the cravings because all I want to do is eat like a hot fudge sundae or like some pie, but I can't eat pie. I gotta eat like turkey meat plain. So I don't know. I'm in really good shape, and I really appreciate you having me on, Dylan. You're the man. Anything I can ever do for you, you just call me and I'll do it.
No, I appreciate that sentiment, man. It was great getting insights from you. You've had so many exciting BKFC fights and had to arrange this when I saw you were stepping into the BKB Trigon. So, yeah, great chat as always, man. You enjoy the rest of your night and stoked to see this Zion Tomlinson fight at the end of the month.
Hey man, just like Toy Story, you got a friend in me. I'll see you soon.